So Notion is easily one of the best apps I've used when it comes to tracking things and managing my own personal YouTube workflow, and recently tracking my expenses as well. And the best part of all is that this app is free to use, and I'm going to show you exactly how to set up an expense tracker as well from scratch. Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Faizy. If you're new here, welcome. On this channel, we look at everything personal finance. So let's jump into it. So let's open up Notion, and you guys can see that this is what I use so far. Now I'm going to explain to you everything and how it works. So let's have a look. So basically the date of transaction on the left is basically when the transaction actually happened. That's pretty obvious. And then we've got the amount of the transaction, which I can find from my online banking. And then we've got the category. So, we've got all the categories here like family, personal recreation, ATM, miscellaneous. Now, these expenses and these categories are personal to me, but the good thing about Notion is that you can actually categorize your own expenses and color code them the way that you want to use it. So I guess that's quite good. Now on the top here, we've got notes, and this is actually quite helpful because if I need to quickly write down what the transaction actually was, where it happened, and which bank it was with, just some comments about it if it's something unusual. 6 months down the track, it's going to be very easy for me to just quickly look at this and just figure out what the transaction actually was. So that's quite useful. Now the date added over here is basically when I created this whole row, and the reason why I have this is because it just helps me to remember when I added the expenses in this tracker. So it's quite precise as well. It tells you the exact time and everything, so I guess that's good. Now this tracker is quite basic. As you can see, there's not much work that needs to be done. So if you're thinking that this is some sort of a daunting task, just calm down. It's actually quite simple. So how I like to use this tracker is I like to do things on a weekly basis. So every Sunday for me, or for you, it can be basically, whatever day you want it to be. I will just sit down and I will go through all of my bank accounts and just look at all the expenses and just quickly put them in this little tracker. It actually only takes me like 5 minutes. So it's quite quick and it's not as tedious as you might think, and it just looks very, very neat. Now I understand that this personally works for me quite well, and it might not work for everyone. And just the thought of manually tracking your expenses might seem very daunting and just tedious. So I've got a solution for you. You can check out WeMoney, which is a free app that tracks your expenses for you. All you do is you link your bank accounts and it tracks your net worth as well. And it also tells you how much money you're spending for each category, so you know exactly where your money's going. It also gives you your monthly credit report completely free from Experian, which is one of the largest credit reporting companies out there. At the moment, they have a special referral offer where if you use the link in description, you will get $5 for signing up, and so will I. So it's a win-win, and no, they are not paying me to say this. This video is obviously not sponsored. The only payment I'm going to get is the $5 if you sign up. So check it out if you're interested. Okay, now back to Notion. Now why I like to use Notion over Excel spreadsheets or Google Sheets is its advanced categorization features and sorting features, which are very powerful. And I'm going to show you exactly how I use these. So firstly, let's look at the filter option. So here we can really pinpoint which transactions we want to see, and this can actually be quite a powerful tool. So let's have a look. So for example, let's say that we want to know all transactions which were, less than say $50 for the category being say family. So if we go to category contains family, and this will actually show us exactly all the expenses, when they happened, and what the amounts are. So this can actually be quite powerful if you really want to pinpoint which transactions you want to see. And let's do another example. So let's say that I want to see all amounts over say $100, so if I go greater than $100 and category contains, let's say YouTube, then it will show me the actual transactions. Or if I want it to be the OR logic, then it will show me one or the other. Now the good thing about Notion is that you can just keep on adding different filters and you can keep customizing it, so you can really just get down deep into it. So let me just delete this for a second and show you the other feature, which is the properties feature. Now this is where you just want to consolidate everything and you want to see a very basic view. Let's say that I don't want to see the categories anymore and I don't want to see the actual date. I just want to see the amounts for whatever that's worth. You can do that as well. It's an easy toggle on, toggle off, which is quite simple. And the other powerful feature are the views. So if we go here and we go add a view, we've got all these different options, and one of my favorite option is the calendar view. So if we go here, we can actually kind of get a bird's eye view of all of our transactions. Now these say untitled because I haven't added in notes for these transactions. So here we've got example and example 2. And if we go back to default, we've got example and example 2. So as you add notes and you add a description, those will appear on there. And the good thing about the calendar view as well is if we go down here to properties, we can actually add in more properties. So if you want to add in the amounts, we can just toggle it on and it will show us the amounts, which is so good, plus the categories, and you can get a kind of like a bird's eye view, as I mentioned earlier. So now that you know the power of Notion, let's actually build this from scratch. So what we're going to do is we're going to add in a new page. We'll just go to here where it says table and we'll add that in. And now we've got a blank table. So I'll just add in expenses for 2021 or whatever heading that you want to use. The name can just be changed to, let's just call it description. So we've changed the name to description, which is much more easier. And the tags are empty, so we can just add all our tags. So let's just say ATM, food, clothing, and it basically just adds in the color for you, but you can obviously change the color to your liking. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add in the amount. So we'll go add here, change this to number, and we can just add in all of our expenses very, very easily. Now, this doesn't have a currency on it, so let's just add in the currency. And how we're going to do that is we're going to click on the number button here and just add in dollar or whichever currency you use. And it's as simple as that. Here we can just add in another thing which is quite useful, which is files and media. So if you want to take photos of what you bought or something that can help you later on, you can actually add in media as well, which is quite helpful. So this is where you want to go like one step further and actually, really make this your number one tool. You can do that as well. So let's do an example. Let's say that I got $40 worth of, food. So what I'll do is I'll just delete the other things that I added on here. So I'll get rid of clothing and I'll get rid of ATM that's here as well. Description is, takeout. Column is $40. Very, very simple. And the other thing you can do is you can also add in the created time for this if you want. And it's as simple as that. So that's how easy it is to actually do this. Once again, Notion is something that I highly recommend to pretty much everyone I meet that wants to track things. It's a very useful app that basically manages your life, and their free plan gives you quite a lot, and you won't need to upgrade your subscription if you're just using it for personal use. If you don't want to use Notion or WeMoney and you just want to stick to a spreadsheet, that's fine as well. By all means, the only goal is to track your expenses. It doesn't matter how you do it. So if you are using a spreadsheet, I made a video about a month ago on how you can use Google Sheets to track your expenses, and in that video I've created a free tracker for you so you can get started. So the link to that video is in the description, so go check it out. So thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe, and check out my other video on tracking your expenses using Google Sheets if you're interested. That video should be popping up right about now, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. Yeah, I forgot this. Can't believe I forgot this.